and joined by the Small family. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having us.
In the interview area, and Grandma is sitting off to the side in case your support system, because, you know, we're all in this together. The family's all in this together. So you have Emerson. She's halfway hanging upside down now, having a good time this afternoon. So Kristen is here. Tyler is here. Kaylee is here. And Emerson is the star of the show. And she's 4 years old. How's she doing?
She's doing well. She's had a good year since we saw you guys last.
And thank you for coming, because I know now we have interrupted her nap time.
Okay.
And I know we have already messed up her music therapy class for today. Sorry about that. Emerson, I hope you forgive us, honey. But, you know, and these nap times are real.
Yes.
You know, and when you have to do them in the middle of the day, so sorry in advance. I hope everything works out. Maybe she'll fall asleep on the way home in a car. I mean, who knows? So she's doing great.
She is.
And for a lot of us that don't know, introduce us to Emerson and the beginning of her story.
So Emerson's story starts about 4.5 years ago. She was born March 10th, 2014. We had a normal pregnancy and normal delivery. All my ultrasounds were normal. It wasn't until about a half hour after she was born that we were about to head over to postpartum, and the postpartum nurse placed her into my arms. And the doctor told us, "We believe your daughter has a genetic condition." Tyler and I were very surprised, because I looked down at this beautiful baby, and to us, she looked perfect. It wasn't until we were told that she had a cleft palate, which was very posterior in her mouth, that you really couldn't see it? No, okay. And like on ultrasound, they couldn't see it. So it didn't involve like the lip or anything, so it wasn't visible. And then also her foot deformity, her feet turn outward, so they were almost all the way pushed up to like her shin. Which obviously was visible, but sometimes it can look like that in utero too, and it can just be kind of positional. Mm-hmm. So they weren't really sure. So we were wheeled over to postpartum, and Dr. Yadley, who's the genetics pediatrician here at Gunderson, met with our family, and she assessed Emerson, and at the time she thought she had Stickler syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. So she sent genetic testing, and later we found out that that wasn't what she had.
Did any of this, you know, ring a bell with you? Had you ever heard of any of this that was being told to you?
We did not. None of our family had ever had anything genetic related, not that we knew of. No.
So that was all new news. So now you're getting an education.
Yeah.
You're learning about things you guys had never even spoken of before.
Yeah. So we have this brand new baby, and to us, she was perfect. And so then that night, she was having some feeding difficulty, and every time she would feed, she would turn blue, which obviously to new parents, that was very scary.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And so the doctor that was on postpartum said that we needed to go over to the NICU. And then fast forward, we spent 25 days in the NICU.
25 days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, right now, today, there's 6 babies in the NICU.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were up there for 25 days.
Yep.
Life went on hold.
It did.
Life went on hold.
It really did.
What happened? I mean, are you guys able to keep working during that time? Who did what?
We did not. So I was on maternity leave, and I ended up taking like an extended leave, and Tyler went back to work, and we kind of just juggled our household. So I would stay in the NICU during the day, and Ty would go to work, and he would come at night, and we had another child at the time, so we were just trying to juggle our household the best we could. We had an amazing support system in our family, and we just did the best we could, and the CMN kind of helped us there. And
I see you have some of your support family with you today.
We do.
You guys do a lot of traveling with Grandma?
Yes.
That's great. That's great. I think that's great.
Yeah.
And she's all smiles. I think she thinks it's great, too.
Yeah.
So Children's Miracle Network came into the picture when?
Right away. So when we were in the NICU, they helped with meal vouchers. when we were staying at the hospital. So they helped with the meal vouchers, and then they also assisted us with gas vouchers so that we could come to and from the hospital to visit Emerson, and then when we left the hospital to get to appointments for Emerson.
So you guys live in Rockland.
We do.
So there was some miles to travel to get here
it was
to
a
there.
distance,
Yeah, it was a distance.
And we were coming every day. And
that cuts into your day, just being on the road and time that you'd rather, be here, but you have to travel.
Yeah.
So that was really great. And how was it when all of a sudden this help was put out there? Was that tough to accept?
It was, but it was just amazing for this organization to reach out, and it was one less thing for us to think about and have to worry about, and it was just perfect.
So what's next for Emerson?
She has a procedure coming up, and our weekly appointments, and we're here almost every week or every other week at least for appointments.
Now this one that's coming up, that's going to really include quite a few things.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that you combine these things into one, and it makes sense. So what needs to happen? Is there sedation that's going to be happening?
Yeah. With Emerson, it's not like a normal child where you can get her teeth cleaned. She has such bad oral aversions from being intubated and her cleft palate and stuff. So she has a teeth cleaning coming up here in November, so she'll be sedated for that. We try to lump her procedures together because she's had so many. So she'll have a teeth cleaning, and then her hearing screening. She has moderate to severe hearing loss because of her genetic condition. So they'll do that at the same time and then put new tubes in her ears.
So if she's sedated, what is the reason that is optimal to have a hearing test? I mean, how does that help when she's sedated to have the hearing test?
It's easier when they're sedated because they're laying still. It's hard, especially with a 4-year-old, because obviously you've seen she doesn't sit still very long.
No, I don't know a 4-year-old that does.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So how many procedures does this make? Do you guys keep track?
We haven't up until now, and I kind of looked back at her procedures, and this will make her 15th procedure in 4 years.
That's a lot.
It's hard to think about as a parent. Yeah.
Well, it is hard to think about as a parent. But we thank you for sharing that with us, because you're really bringing us into your family and into your dynamics and what goes on.
Yeah.
So how about the feeding tube? Is that she still receives her nutrition?
Yeah, she receives the majority of her nutrition through a G tube, which was placed when she was 2 weeks old, so we were still in the NICU. So with that feeding difficulty and her stopping breathing, it wasn't safe for her to feed orally, so they placed that G tube. So we've kind of battled with oral feeding since then. So one of her appointments that she has every 2 weeks is working with an OT to work with sensory issues and things to kind of get her oral feeding.
How is that going?
It's improved over the last year or so. It's
there's some progress.
It's slow, but it's progress. She's doing food play, so she'll kind of play with the food and bring it up to her mouth. The favorite things are pudding and cupcakes, but who wouldn't love sugar?
Well, who wouldn't? Now, how do you get her meal together? How does it come in a formula? How does that work?
Hers is formula based. We trialed a lot of formulas because we wondered if a lot of her struggles with feeding were like a intolerance to lactose. So she's on a soy based formula, and it is delivered via a pump. So that's where she gets hers through. So one thing the CMN did for us is a Bennick belt. It's a belt that covers her G tube. That was one thing that they funded for us this year.
What does a belt like that cost? Do you know?
I think it was close to $100.
Isn't that something?
I know.
And so it looks like kind of like a regular belt. What does it look like?
Yeah, it's a belt that kind of covers. It's a softer material, so it doesn't rub on them, and it breathes really nice in the hotter weather, and it covers it, and it's got a porthole that you can open up and access her G tube. She's very active, obviously, so pulling that tube out is one of our biggest worries, so covering that tube up is important for us.
And when you have something that is so specialized is that. And, sometimes insurance doesn't
Right.
cover everything, does it?
That was something that the insurance wouldn't cover for us, so that the CMN stepped up and helped us with that.
Have you had some trials with trying to figure things out when it comes to insurance and coverage with things along the line?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's been other things the CMN has helped us with that insurance wouldn't cover, like her cube chairs and things over the years. Just
Tell me about the cube chair.
it's a specialized adaptive chair that it's cube shaped. We should have brought it, but it's cube shaped, and it's a little chair that she sits in. It has a tray that goes in front of her that she can sit in and do activities and sit safely without falling over. She can sit and color and play Play-Doh or any different activities, and she sits very nicely in it.
Well, she's amazing.
Well, thank you.
And
We think she is.
you guys are a wonderful family. Look like
Thank
she's doing really good.
Yeah, she's had a good year. We hope it continues.
Well, we'd love some calls to come in the Wisconsin Blood Center of Wisconsin phone bank. And
Joni, I'm going to interrupt for just a second, if you don't mind.
John will interrupt me.
Tell you what, there's some special kids that are here that I think the family knows that have a special presentation. Why don't you bring them on out, Raina?
Here.
Come on, guys.
Okay, it's okay. You're going to have some special guests come out. They're coming out. Who's coming? Kristen, who's coming? Do you see him?
Oh.
Who's our little friends that are coming? Can you tell us?
One of my coworkers and her little
One
guys.
of your coworkers is coming out. And what's her name?
Are we shy?
Kristen, tell us who's coming here. Do you
Oh, sorry.
Hi, guys. Hi, what's your name?
Hope.
Hi, Hope. Who'd you bring with you?
These are my little boys, Cutler, Dylan, and Hudson.
Hi, everybody. And what are we doing today? Something very special.
You want to tell her? I was telling about Children's Miracle Network and what was going on at work here, and they decided they wanted to take some money from their piggy bank and donate it.
Oh.
And I knew Kristen when I was a Huck on the floor, and she had little Emerson about the same time as Dylan, so I've always just really followed it and just kind of kept track of it, and it was a little more special to me just because knowing someone personally.
Well, you followed her right over here today, and we're happy with that. And I see that you followed the whole family and brought your whole family with. And we have, maybe you'd like to put that in a big fishbowl. Would you like to do that? Heather, you want to go get the big fishbowl? We might even bring it to you. Would you like that? That works good? It's amazing, isn't it, how this brings families together.
It's just a special thing, and it's just amazing the things they do for all these kids in the area and stuff. And you just feel so lucky that my kids are healthy. And we want to do something to give back and teach them that you need to give back to the community. Good job. Yeah.
So that was really special, you guys. That was really a good thing. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That's adorable. That's amazing. I hope that we got pictures of that. Did we get pictures? I hope we got pictures of that. Oh, here's a Kleenex. I know. Thanks, Hope, for making us cry over here. That's just part of it. That's just bringing co-workers together and wanting to be here because you're here, and that's really special. That's really special. We want the calls to come in as well at 784-KIDS-5437, the Blood Center of Wisconsin. Amazing. You guys, you worked together for a while.
Yes.
Okay.
I was a nurse up on surgical when Emerson was born, and then I transferred to the NICU almost 3 years ago. So that's actually where my heart was after Emerson was born, and I wanted to give back to families that were kind of in similar situations to us. So
is that where you are now?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're actually in. So I just told you there's 6 babies, and you probably knew that. That's good. That's great.
That's okay.
You're probably the one that told me this morning to write 6 down. Okay. Great. You got to bring your sense of humor with you. every single day, but you probably know that, don't you?
Yes.
Well, and the phones are ringing. Do you hear that? 608-784-KIDS, 5437. Emerson is who we have been spotlighting here in the last little bit. And right now, she is just really working those leg muscles. And here comes some more phone calls coming in. And the kids are just thrilled about it. That's great. That it's like you have your own little fan club.
Mm-hmm.
Emerson has her own
so
fan.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very sweet to do that. And again, we can let everybody know that they can come see us. We're at Gunderson Health System in the main lobby. There is no way you can miss us.
No.
There is no way. Even if you have your eyes closed and you come in with the blindfold, you're going to hear us, and so you'd find us. Not that I would recommend doing that, but come on in and take a little look around. It's amazing because when you see all the volunteers that make this happen, I mean, we're here until 6 o'clock tonight, and then tomorrow again, we're going to follow up from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon, and we're going to keep the momentum going. You guys are very special. Thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital Radiothon, a service of La Crosse Media Group.